What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown from my strategy with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So I want to do like a weekly recap for strategy and go over what next week is looking like. It already is looking pretty promising. I think we got rid of that very terrible month of February for the bulls. Obviously, for the shorts, they really like that, but for the bulls, it was terrible. I think this price just kept on dropping throughout February, and even basically, price has been dropping since November 21st. So that's already been more than 3 months of a correction. This is all just a correction, in my opinion. It has been a very large correction. So from the high to low, that's a 57% drop thus far. But if you don't consider that high, because that was kind of like just an outlier, let's say this is more like the high right here. This is technically the high right here, but let's say this is generally where price kind of like topped out at right over here. Then that's only about a 46%, 47% drop. Regardless, price did drop. And then we did reach a measure move target finally after a very long time, one leg down right here. You clone this arrow. This is the second leg down. And it was targeting right around that 240 level. And that's exactly where price started stalling out at and finding support. So that's a very good sign. So with Bitcoin pumping up today, I'll go over that chart just real quick in a second. I think this looks very promising in the next week. So this week was a little bit of down, but it looks like it bottomed out, and we could be reversing right at this measure move target. This also is a breakout. A lot of times breakouts can fail. So again, a lot of people were giving up and getting really bearish at the worst possible time. That's what the market is designed to do. So technically, this right here should have been a very bearish thing. Why? Because price, whenever it moves at an unsustainable fashion, like we just saw an exponential move up higher, you should be scared. Any technical chartist would be scared if they saw that, because they know after looking at thousands of charts, it cannot last that long. And that's exactly what happened. It's the same stuff that happens every time. Any chart you pull up, it's going to be the same patterns. It's the same stuff. It's the same people, same human motions, same everything. Obviously, you can have some nuances like volume and stuff like that, but generally, the price action is going to be very, very similar. So whenever you see an exponential move up, that should be bearish. Same thing for the reverse situation. If we go exponentially down, that's bullish, because price cannot continue moving like that forever. And eventually it's going to reverse, especially if this is just a micro pattern inside of a macro context. So you got to also be able to differentiate that as well. If we were in a bear market and you saw this, then obviously it'd be bearish regardless, right? But if we're in a bull market, which we are right now, and we saw this is actually the best possible time to be, adding to your long-term stack, or, taking a trade, managing your risk with position sizing or with the stop loss. So this would be the best possible time to buy, instead of like over here. Even here is okay, because we're not guaranteed to go down, but since we did reach the target, that's a very good sign. And again, maybe we do go lower, but as of right now, it's not looking likely, especially with Bitcoin, what it's doing today. So again, it's no coincidence at all that we were seeing support at the lowest point, and where people started getting really bearish, started giving up. Probably, I'm pretty sure some people started selling their shares at a loss, which is at the worst possible time. Technically, you look at the chart to make your decisions. You don't make emotional decisions. Let me repeat that again. You let the chart make the decisions for you. You cannot make any emotional decisions. The chart will tell you when to enter. The chart will tell you when to exit. The chart will tell you to hold. It'll tell you for hold for how long. The chart will tell you everything. The chart is your boss. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin's chart. So again, very promising. Bitcoin against the US dollar. Again, I brought this up on last week. So let me see. Bitcoin USD. I think I have it on the Bitstamp. Where is the chart? Either way, same thing, right? So we have a nice pump up higher. It wasn't going to continue dropping down forever. There was a lot of demand at this $79,000, $78,000 level. We bounced off this trend line, like I mentioned before. We have 1, 2, 3 right here. You connect this swing, and then this swing right here. That's 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. So 3 already confirmed it. Now we got the fourth one. We got the fourth one in conjunction with an overextension of the price from that EMA. This white line was over here, and look where price was relative to it. So with an overextension, a bounce from the trend line, with a breakout of a range. I mean, come on, those are all just really juicy, long, technical things to go off of. And as you can see here, we got back inside the range. If we can stay back in it, which I believe it will, this is a very good sign. We're finding minor resistance off this trend line, but with that overextension, there's a good chance we probably push through that very soon. So I'm looking for back to the 106,000, 110,000 this month is a very good chance for that. So let's go back to MSTR. So Bitcoin should continue to pump up higher. MicroStrategy will also continue to pump up higher. I think we're going to see a very good move up tomorrow, as long as we don't see a huge crash for Bitcoin, which I don't think we will, coming in the near future. And the liquidity that was sucked out of the stock, I think that at one point the stock was worth what? It dropped 50%. So if we go back up to the prior high, that's about a more than 100% gain. So that means the market cap was about 65 billion, which means that's 130 billion, right near 130 billion dollar market cap. So where did 65 billion dollars go? Where did it go? Is people just taking their profit and just holding it to reload? Like, where's that money going? It's not. No one's burning the cash. No one's burning this liquidity. So the liquidity is flowing somewhere, and it looks like it's gonna start flowing back into MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, where the liquidity was sucked out at. I think Trump just released some strategic reserve stuff. I mean, what a perfect time to say it, right? Is it a coincidence at all? Right near technical bottom. I mean, it's just hilarious how these things work, that the technicals were saying we were bottoming soon, and all of a sudden you see a catalyst take price higher. I mean, it's just like this. It's just, amazing once you know how to read a price chart, how funny these news articles are. And I really think March through May would be a pretty bullish next couple of months for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. It looks like it's ready to go up higher. Again, MicroStrategy, 499,000 Bitcoin, basically 500,000 at this point, 600,000 probably by the end of the year. A company with 600,000 Bitcoin, that's just a pioneer in the Bitcoin treasury world, just like Tesla was a pioneer for electric vehicles. And I'm not saying they're the absolute first ones, but they're like the most ahead of everyone, right? In terms of that cars that they have on the road, that data is being collected. They have probably the best data in terms of driving statistics and probabilities for any car company, because their car's been on the road for so long and every mile's been recorded. Every camera has been seeing things. So that data is very valuable, which they can in turn lease or sell to other companies who want to see that data. So again, once you're a pioneer, you get that head start. Same thing with Apple, pioneer in computers, Microsoft software, and they're still leading and dominating. NVIDIA, AI, so chips as well. MicroStrategy, Bitcoin treasury. A lot of companies are adding Bitcoin to their treasury. So again, very bullish technically for MicroStrategy. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Again, last week was bearish, but we did see price kind of find support now. Again, it's been an uptrend since 2023. I don't think this is stopping anytime soon. Like I said before, let's take a look at some measure move targets. Again, I'm not picking targets randomly. I let the chart tell me where the price can go. So we have two legs right here, 1, 2, and what do you know? This is a perfect measure move target, and the target was met, and then that's when we started still seeing price continue higher. So when price continues to move up higher after a measure move target, you combine the first two together. So that's one large one now, and we drag this over. This is targeting right around the $2,200 level. So again, that is the next technical target. And how long till get there? Who knows? I don't really care about time. Time is irrelevant. It shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't be really quick, but it's just hard to say time. It's easier to predict price, in my opinion. So let's take a look at some trend lines. We got this trend line right here, 1, 2, 3. So this one is confirmed. Price cannot come back to it because it's in a more steeper accelerating trend. So then we take a new trend line, 1, 2, 3, and then what do you get? We're right at that trend line. So we're not even in a blow off phase yet either. You haven't seen anything yet, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. You haven't even seen the 70-degree trend lines, something like this. Like, you haven't seen anything like that yet. So I think we're still pretty early in this. Okay. So I don't think we have topped. It's very unlikely, very, very unlikely. Technically, we have topped. Again, I could be wrong. There's always that chance that, hey, we have topped. No one can predict the future, but to a certainty, but we can definitely forecast high probability situations. So that's all I have for MicroStrategy on the daily, weekly charts. I'm looking forward to this upcoming week. I think it's primed. I think MicroStrategy did set itself greatly over the past several months of acquiring Bitcoin. They didn't get scared and stop acquiring Bitcoin. They kept on doubling down, right? They have way more than they had just 3 months ago. They didn't get scared. They continue to buy, makes it a more valuable company, makes it a stronger company. They get ahead of other companies. At this point, can anyone catch up? If you try to buy the same amount of Bitcoin as MicroStrategy, well, you're just making them stronger. I remember watching a video by Saifedean Amos, who's the author of Bitcoin Standard, very smart guy. He said, MicroStrategy has like a very large moat around itself, where if someone attacks it, it just makes them stronger, right? If you try to buy Bitcoin, it just makes MicroStrategy stronger. So I mean, it's just game over at this point of how much Bitcoin they hold and trying to catch up to it. So again, they're pretty much set for a very long time, building a foundation on concrete things, not fiat currency. So all I have for MicroStrategy in the week charts is a Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.